So here we are on this absolutely wonderful afternoon, and we're so happy to have Meghan with us, our new executive director with a touch of understanding. And I know Nolan is going to want to start out with the joke because it puts you in the right frame of mind.
Absolutely.
So, Nolan, you are on.
What do you call a sleeping cow?
I don't know what.
A bulldozer.
What do you call an alligator in a vest?
I don't know what.
An investigator.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, so touche. Oh my. Well,
I see your cow. I'll raise you an alligator.
yeah, there you go. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So, Meghan, you are new not in with a touch of understanding because you've been here, what, for 4 years?
Almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in May.
Okay.
Yes.
But you're new in the role of the executive director. And as you explained to other people, you want to touch on that a little bit, what the transition is?
Absolutely. So with Leslie moving towards retirement, as she has worked so hard and put almost 30 years into this organization, she is moving towards retirement, and I am moving into the role of executive director.
Okay.
And this organization struck a chord in me years ago. Actually, I was helping a friend. I had a friend in college who was doing her internship with a touch of understanding, and she needed some extra hands helping at a fundraising dinner. And so I volunteered, and I said I'd help out. And so from that one experience, I had the name A Touch of Understanding in my head, but didn't really know a whole lot about what the organization did. I knew it was around something with working with individuals with disabilities, but I didn't know much beyond that. Well, I continued on in my own life beyond that. That was back in 2008. And so I continued on with my own life, got my degree in speech pathology, and went on to work with children on the autism spectrum in a variety of ways. One was at the Autism Center for Excellence at Sac State doing an after-school program for children on the autism spectrum. And then after getting my degree in speech pathology, I worked with children on the autism spectrum doing speech and language therapy. And I kind of had a life epiphany in around 2014 that what I wanted to do was educate others about disabilities. I saw from my previous work that students with disabilities were oftentimes underestimated in their skills and their abilities. There was one student I was working with. She was a kindergartner, and she was on the autism spectrum, and part of the day she was pushed. She was in a kindergarten, a general education kindergarten classroom. So I would go into that classroom and I'd work with her. Well, her desk was pushed to the back corner of the room. So I observed her while all of her peers in that class were at little table groups in the room. I observed her out at recess, and she was isolated. She was by herself. And it was no wonder to me that in the classroom she had been isolated. And so the peers were simply just following a model that they had been shown. And so they were not as inclusive of her. And
It had a dramatic impact, it sounds like.
It absolutely did, because I saw this little girl's potential and her skills and her abilities, and I knew she deserved to be accepted and included by her peers, but also by the adults in the classroom who were being that model, and that I wanted them to also understand her abilities. And so with that, but then also working with other students, and again seeing coworkers write notes of what a student can't do. And I found myself always writing notes about what my kids who I was working with, what they could do and their abilities. I knew that what I wanted to do was educate others about disabilities, and that I wanted everyone to know that individuals with disabilities can do all the same things that we can do, that they have so many skills and so many wonderful strengths. And I wanted to make a change in this world so that people with disabilities could be included and accepted. And so I looked up A Touch of Understanding with the name ringing in my head from way back in 2008, and saw that they are doing exactly what I wanted to do. And so it seemed to be just a perfect fit, and it has been ever since.
Well, obviously, Leslie and the board and the team must be thrilled because you obviously have a passion for what ATOU is all about.
Well,
That's amazing.
I'm extremely honored to be in this position and excited about where the agency is going and the lives that we are changing on a daily basis. And I think about the ripple effect of one student who goes through our workshop. If they go home and they tell even one parent or they tell one friend, that number just grows exponentially. And then the students who have gone through our workshop 20 years ago are now teachers, administrators, law enforcement, business owners,
yeah.
And now they are taking what they learned and that acceptance, and they are working with peers or individuals who may have a disability. They are being inclusive of anybody with a difference of any kind, not just disabilities. They are leading with that inclusion and that acceptance at the forefront because of what A Touch of Understanding teaches. So I'm really excited to continue to see the growth and the life-changing impact and the students who can feel accepted at school.
And what an amazing job that you have and a team to be able to feel good about what you do every single day.
Absolutely.
Not all jobs have that.
No.
And so the lives that are touched, the lives that are changed, and like you said, just the ripples in the pond, that I don't think you'll ever get a true number of how many children and individuals are touched with ATOU stories and workshops and reaching out even to adults and families.
It's so
kudos to you, and kudos to the board and Leslie for selecting you.
Well,
so
thank
you obviously
you.
are in the right spot.
Thank you. It's a very exciting time, and certainly is not just me, but just this team.